So, not gonna lie, the title of this movie, and it's a good title, but I'm not sure, it's a little perplexing to me. And it's not because they don't use it throughout the film, because they use it quite frequently. It's just that inside of the movie, they don't really explain where it comes from. So I'm a little perplexed as to why the people who did the American distribution chose that as the title, because I don't know, guys. It's a little sus. That's all I'm saying. Just a little bit sus. Cue the music. Hey, what's up everybody? How's it going? How y'all doing? Greetings, salutations, whatnot. Welcome back. And this particular little film is called Fierce. And what I said before was 100% true. They never explain where that nickname comes from. You're just kind of like left to kind of figure it out for yourself. And I still can't figure out kind of where it comes from. I just kind of accepted it. I just gave up at one point. But movie titles are kind of irrelevant. They have nothing to do with the story. They're just one way for you to differentiate one movie from another, and that's pretty much it, so not a big deal. However, somebody did take the time to title the movie for the American distribution, so I'm gonna take the time to comment about it. But anyway, the basic plot of the movie is it's about a young girl, I believe her name is Marta, but her nickname is Fierce, as I've kind of already told you. But the kicker is that young Marta was raised by a single mother, and it turns out that the biological father of hers happens to be what I can only describe as a knockoff version of Simon Cowell from a knockoff version of American Idol. In other words, he's the judge on one of these talent shows, and he decides whether somebody gets splashed or not, and it's like a whole thing. And essentially, the plot is, I guess, Marta trying to get on this game show and to kind of confront him, I guess, is essentially the point of the movie. And do not get me wrong, this is actually a pretty decent movie, but the fact that I couldn't fully tell you the plot is one of the biggest problems that I have with it. Because within the film, you can kind of tell what the next scene is, you can kind of tell what the natural progression of the film is going to be, but they didn't really lay down the stakes for you at any point in time, so you're really not sure what the sum total end game of the movie was meant to be. Like, you can take pretty much any random movie, like, I don't know, Mean Girls, we'll go with that. In the beginning, that movie is about a girl who goes to a new school and tries to find her own footing. But after a while, one of her friends kind of lays out this plan to get all the plastics, like to embarrass them or to like put them in their place. So like there's a goal in mind there. Whereas in this film, there isn't a specific goal in mind. It's just that Marta wants to get on this game show to confront her father, and then we'll figure out the rest later. And the reason why it's important to set up the stakes of a movie is so that you can tell whether or not the character achieved what they were trying to achieve, so you can like cheer for them or you can be sad for them. So it allows you to feel for them sometimes. But as it stands, the movie does have its own arc, and the characters have their own progressions, and there is an end game to the movie, but it's not laid out, so you're just kind of not sure where the movie is supposed to take you. So, it left a little bit of like confusion as an audience member. But yeah, besides that giant flaw with the movie, it didn't stop me from enjoying myself. To be completely honest, there was a lot of good things about it. First of all, the movie was funnier than I was expecting. There was 5 or 6 moments that felt kind of slapsticky, but they came off really well. The comedic timing was there, even though, it was in a language that I don't understand, and I thought that was good. And since the movie is music-based, there's a lot of singing, there's a lot of performance. The songs were pretty well constructed. I don't know if they were borrowing from real songs or if they wrote original music for the movie, but either way, it sounded very appealing, and I was like, it enhanced the movie for me. And I also liked the progression of both the young girl, the mom, and the dad. Like, they all had their own little, like, kind of niche emotions throughout the film, and I liked where they went with it. And as far as the pacing goes, I don't remember getting bored at all throughout the movie, so it had a good pace to it. The story structure was okay. There were some redundancies that were in there, though, for sure. Like, for example, I'm not sure if he was the gym instructor or if he was the principal, but there was a few redundant lines, like an extra 5 minutes worth of screen time that kind of didn't need to be in the movie. And one other thing they never laid out was kind of like the way that the TV show functions and how to get on and like all that. Like, none of that was really explained particularly, which may not seem like a big deal because it doesn't really affect the main character. But again, it doesn't really establish what the stakes are or what the rules of the show are or how far we need to go before the main character is satisfied. It was just one more thing that I just thought the movie was kind of lacking, even though it seemed kind of small. But I did like the way that the movie ended, and I also kind of liked the way that it had almost kind of a Slumdog Millionaire kind of vibe going on. And I'm not saying this film is on on the same level of filmmaking as Slumdog necessarily, but it had the same vibe in that there's like a game show, there's like this flashy thing going on. Meanwhile, in the background, there's like kind of these nefarious things that you're not totally sure how to feel about. So it had kind of this dual drama of what's going on behind the scenes while also how it plays out on camera and what you know as an audience member compared to like the game show audience. Like, that was a whole cool little element. And although I can't speak the language, I really felt what the characters were going through. Like, and all this stuff, like the pain that the mother feels and some of the shame that the dad feels here and there, because like the girl, she tries to get him to like feel things because, you know, she feels abandoned. Which is another thing that you feel. You feel a lot of sympathy for the main girl because she just, you know, it hurts to feel like that you don't belong, you know, from anybody's perspective. But the fact that she feels that from the dude who should have been there for her, that, you know, that's even harder to deal with. And again, you feel for her so much. But anyway, guys, at the end of the day, it was a really interesting story, and I really felt the emotion behind it. But structurally, there's a few things that it could have used a little work on, but that's all right. Because at the end of the day, it was still a good experience. So I think for a score overall out of 10, I think I'm gonna give it like a 7.0. And despite some of the serious subject matter that gets tackled in the movie, it was still pretty upbeat, it was still pretty heartfelt, it was light. It was a light feeling kind of movie. So if you're in kind of a casual mood and you want to see a movie with a lot of good musical numbers in it, maybe this movie's for you. But anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Have you seen this movie? Have you heard of it? Hop in the comments, let me know what's up. Other than that, if you like this video, give me a like, subscribe, share, hit the bell, comment, do all the other YouTube shenanigans, and I will catch you guys next time.